Greetings from Southern Yankee Homestead. If this is your first time, welcome. If you're a returning viewer, welcome back. Today we're going to be finally getting some work done on the Daihatsu. We're going to be doing some beautification of it. So to start off with, we're going to be using some Super Clean. This is, I think, a 4-to-1 mix. I don't know. I usually have a mix of this in a sprayer in the garage because, well, we use it. So the easiest application when you dilute it that I found is just a good old-fashioned cheap bug sprayer, weed sprayer, pump sprayer. It helps the application immensely. Before we do that, we're going to be doing most of the work on the bed, and as you can tell, well, it's been raining, there's water collecting. We don't want that to happen. We want everything to run out. And we're using Super Clean to start with because we want to make sure that any oils are off this, because we're going to do some preservation to the bed. We're going to try to slow down some of this corrosion we see here. We're not going to be able to stop it, we're just going to slow it down. So with that being said, let me go ahead and get the bed tilted up a little bit first. Let's see how this works. Yeah, I didn't bring the tripod out. We're using the Samurai. So this is the Samurai cam on the Daihatsu. And that's the Jeep keys. We'll be fixing that too. Alright, we don't need to go full tilt on this. Get that full tilt. So with everything nice and wet right now, let's see if I can get this camera mount to stick around. And I don't think I can twist it the way I need to. Alright, we're just going to go ahead and get some of this crap and other stuff out of here, give it a good rinsing. And if you're wondering what all that white foam is, that was just water left in the pipe or in the hose. It'll go away here once we get all that cleaned out. I want to put the side down, but this isn't latched right now, so we're going to skip that. Don't worry, most of that's wood chips. Not all of it though. So our sprayer, again, has 50-50 mix in it, or 425, I don't know. I'm going to shut up now. We're just going to go ahead and give it a nice coating. Help break up anything, and we're not going to scrub this. We're just spraying it down to get it clean. We don't actually want to remove the rust and anything that's still there preserving it. Again, we're doing this just to make sure we get all the oils and any grease or anything. Theoretically, there shouldn't be any. Practicality's sake, you just never know. We'll go with a shower. Now, even though we used super clean to clean the bed, we're going to do the edges with a little bit of acetone, just to make sure that we get everything off that would have washed away. We probably should hit it with some sandpaper and, you know, scuff it up a little, but we're not going to worry about that right now. We are going to be using, for our first line of defense, POR 15. POR 15, however you pronounce it, is POR 15 to me. So we're going to use this to cover, well, basically everything. It is abrasion resistant, not abrasion proof. So this should help our bed maintain for a little while longer. How long? I don't know. We're not, well, I want to say we're not putting a lot of really rough stuff in it, but we probably will at some point. But regardless, I'm just using a cheap foam brush. Alright, in typical GoPro fashion, it overheated in the process of doing this, but I went ahead and you see this lovely sheen. I went all the way up, all the way down to the end of the tailgate. Everything exterior wise has been painted. Well, I say painted, but it's been covered up with POR 15 or POR 15 or PO 15, whatever you want to call it. So at this point, we're going to give it the next 24 hours to dry, which realistically will probably be more than 24 hours because, well, yeah, stuff happens. No guarantee I'll get back to this tomorrow. But in the meantime, there is a couple other things I want to work with. And now we're going to go ahead and start to get some prep work done so that we can paint. The first thing we're going to do, I don't know if you can see it here, but right here, there's a sticker right there. There was a sticker here, but I scraped it off. We're going to go ahead and try to get that cleaned up. Good old-fashioned razor blade. And I could get all fancy and tape this off, because I don't want to get paint on the back window. But I'm feeling somewhat lazy, so we're going to use a welding blanket to cover up the cab so that we don't get a bunch of stuff on it. That's going to be it for now. We're going to allow this to dry for a little bit, then we're going to come back and I got to do some, well, I got to do some more white paint, but I need to put the sides up and I don't want to do that while it's still wet. And then we're going to also have to tape it off because we got something else we're going to do as well. That's why we haven't done any of the bed yet. Keyword, yet. Stand by, you'll see. Alright. It's been 2 hours or so since we did the last bit of paint. It is dry to the touch. I know it's not completely cured yet, but we're going to go ahead, close this up, and we're going to do some additional painting to clean up some of the exterior as well. We're then going to come back to the interior and work on that some more. So here we go. While we're at it, we're going to go ahead and not paint crap into it, literally. So yes, I know I have a bunch of overspray. It happens when you're a true amateur and just trying to get something done. Just trying to preserve the body as much as possible. Well, she ain't perfect, but she's preserved. So you can see my tape was a little high there. A nice little white line. Wasn't too bad on that side. Just a little spot in the corners there. Some of the stuff peeled up off the top. We got a nice racing stripe there from overspray. It is what it is. I'm happy with it though. That should keep this bed for a while longer and keep the sun off the poor 15. That's the important part. Other than that, I think it's time to get back into the cab and get the stereo all situated. Well, as far as we can anyways.